Hello, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hilk empath. I just like having these little talks, the way I feel about things. I got something new in my background. This is from back when my Obi dog journey days, when I went and met Obi. I got this and it was one of those pass them aroundy games. The white elephant game or something like that. It was a lot of fun. That was a good time. That's a souvenir from that time. She hates me now, Nora, Obi's person. I get it. I get it. I always understand why people don't like me. I always get it. Good boy, Manny. The dogs are settling in out there. I moved the bed because I get to just slide the dog beds with the sun. They get sun all day. They like it. It's less messy. It's muddy all over the place. That's been fun. The mud. I just look at it as a life experience. It's just you always trade in one living environment to another. You trade. Things drop away and then you get bonuses. The bonuses are the freaking... God, the skies around here, man. Wow. I just posted a picture on Snapnax on Instagram. Man. It just makes you believe in the power of God. It does. It makes you believe in it. It makes you not doubt it. Just kind of get... You just look at it and it's because I get to take the DOGs out. And these are the things that God lets me see. Because I believe that we see in frequency. And the higher you vibe, the freaking cooler stuff that you see. And the lower you vibe, the nastier people see. People like looking at nasty stuff, man. People that are soulless, that are void of God's spirit, that voice, that goodness, that grace, that serenity in them. They don't know it. They don't know that you don't harm people, that you don't hurt people. Cannibalism bad. Cannibalism very, very bad. Very, very bad. Very, very bad. The fact that they put embryos in freaking in vaccines. It's like a no. We're making you, guilty by proxy. There's a movie that taught about that. The Hudsucker Proxy. That was a good movie. I watched that a long time ago. Anyway, I made a couple notes. I can't be too long because I got chimichangas in the oven. They're just the cheap ones, but I just wanted to take the time and let them. Maybe they taste a little bit better. I should just make them, dude. Why don't I just make? Because I'm lazy and everything hurts. Relationships. Relation-ships. Little pockets of relating to people. I stepped on weird. I almost hurt my knee there. When I think about, because people are going to really have to come to a place where they're just going to have to like each other, even if they disagree with each other. It's just what level are you willing to go? What can we put up with at this point? What can we live with? I haven't had a Subway sandwich in over 10 years. Much as I used to like them, their bread was delicious. And their vegetables were always crisp and excuse me, and also delicious. They endorsed Mike Vick, and he's a scumbag. He's a dog fighter guy. And those people are terrible human beings. People that profit from enjoying and watching the harming of others. And it's all the way. I mean, So I said a long time ago. And then, Subway doesn't have a really good history of their endorsements, considering that, the first guy, the dude, that Jake dude's in prison now for pedophilia. For having a whole ring operation at frickin' on campus. I mean, the audacity of people. That's the thing that we're going to see this whole year. It's like the audacity, the nerve right in front of us. Really? They do that? What? Making us a part of ceremonies unbeknownst to us. How rude. Having us perpetuate the... All we wanted to do is take our family to a football game. You know, we didn't mean to perpetuate the Lucy fairy tale theater. People are really going to have to come in line with what they believe in. You know, they just want to believe in something. That's cool. Mom and I had a cool moment. I got the Rainbow Bible. It's supposed to snow more. It didn't snow. We got like a dusting yesterday. It was done. I mean, it was what we got yesterday was gone by the time the sun went down. All the mountains around us. I already forgot the name of that mountain range because it's named after a guy. It's named after a guy. A guy that has nothing. It's like he was like a geologist or like a. It has a person name and it doesn't fit. I think they should rename it. Anyway, it escapes my brain right now. But it got a lot of snow. And so I'm guessing, I'm not exact. I think I know where the ski. I have to look at a map. I would think I know where the skiing is around here. Because I guess it's like world known the skiing around here. It's like, I don't want to ski. But I sure would like to ride on the ski lift and take pictures and stuff. Anyway. So Mom and I, we play a little game today. And I just would like go to a page and move my finger around and keep flipping through pages. And I'd say, okay, Mom, say when. And she's like, what? And I said, we're going to pick a Bible verse. And I'm just randomly moving my finger going through pages. And she's like, okay. And then so she became deliberate. And then she's like, when? And I stopped my finger. And this is what I stopped on. I think I put a bookmark. I did put a bookmark! You know, it's funny, this bookmark, there was an artist. I think he's fallen through the cracks of obscurity now. His name was Thomas Kincaid. I think he was some sort of a sacrifice, honestly. Because he just like, I remember hearing about his death. Because I went to an art gallery. They used to have art galleries of his in Sacramento in the mall. And it was cool. I mean, it was really cool. His art was, because it was like nothing people, it was like nothing that people had done. Because his pictures would illuminate if you dim the lights. So in the galleries, all the lights that were pointed at the pictures on the wall, all illuminated and dim. You know, like you turn the lights down, and then the lights inside the house lit up, or the lights, or you know, and the light, or the lights on the city streets. He just used like acrylic paint with the shimmer in it. I'm guessing that's what I have on my kitchen table right now, and it freaking shimmers the same way. And that just kind of went, oh yeah, that's the kind of paint you use. How do you do that? Anyway, he was young, heart attack. He was like only 50, 55, something like that. But this is from 1996. Anyway, so this is what Mom picked. And of course it's going to be a word I was having a conversation. I have a niece. She's Sabrina. She's 12. She's having her 12th year on the planet, and so all this, it makes me sad that they can't freaking go. She can't do. I just live in a maskless world. She can't. People just won't allow it. Anyway. So my 12th year was equally difficult And I was telling Mom earlier, I was like, we were taking a little stroll down memory lane, and I was like, it's cool because she can play on her, she has the internet now. She might be like not be able to go out and do, but she still gets to do stuff. She still gets to do like distance volleyball, and they try, and she's gone out and she's ridden horses, and she probably has a lot more advantage than most people do these days. But going to the roller rink, she needs stuff like that, that stuff, that community stuff, barbecues in the park, stuff like that. And I think their community is pretty good about doing stuff like that too. Anyway, but because that's what's kind of cool about this, about new generations, is that we're supposed to be making things better for them. We are. And I know, I can speak for myself that I've be complacent, and I've let a lot of things happen that isn't cool too. But I'm not going to live that way anymore, because we got to leave this earth better than we found it, and people are doing that. So this is the verse that Mom picked. That's how I started, is because I was telling her, because I've been spelling my niece's name wrong. My youngest niece, she's 6. And I was thinking about it when she gets a little bit older, because she's 12. I don't know, she might get it, she might not, I don't know. I'm not going to say it to her anyway. But I tell people, because I'm not a good speller. I'm hooked on phonics. I spell things how they sound. And things don't sound the same thing to me, the same way to me that they do other people, evidently. Because think about it. Things sound to people in different parts of the place, because people just have the language is just a broad spectrum. That's all. So I was just like, my bad. I've been spelling her name wrong for freaking her whole entire life, and she's 6. I felt like a jerk for a second. She's like, that's okay. I did too. I was like, yeah, that's cool, but when you did, you were probably 6 too, also, because they're like 6-7 years apart. I said, you probably did it too, you're old enough to maybe not know better. I'm 46, it's different. I should know better, but I don't. I never know better. I just know what I know. And I've had such a different background than most people that what I know is a different knowing. And anyway, so yeah, plus I got an addictive personality. I got such an addictive personality, I'm hooked on phonics. So I'm not really good at and then when people like to freaking use words to make other sounds and stuff, it's just like, just come on, man. Why you gotta make it hard? Why you gotta make it hard like that? So, Deuteronomy. I have never heard of that word, and it's not like I've never been to church before. I've been to churches before. I've been to plenty of funerals and weddings and things like that where they read Bible verses, but this one was new to me. Anyway, it's that, and then it's 28, second half of 13. I'll read the first half of 13, but it's just, I'll tell you what Mom pointed out, because it's color-coded. It's a teaching Bible. It's a rainbow Bible. And Mom pointed at the red part. Or Mom said when I was pointing at the red part, but I'll read the whole thing, because we might miss out on something. This is how we Bible study. Alright, Mom. I'm going to close my eyes. You sing and then I'll pick. It's all cooperation is nature's way. I'm going to have t-shirts made. Cooperation is nature's way. Along with I bully bullies. Okay, so the whole thing is, and the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail. And in my song right now, he just said head. That's funny. I love synchronicities, man. Thou shalt not be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath. And now this is my interpretation. That to me tells me we are all shadow and we are all light. And nobody should be looking at nobody else thinking that they're all light while the person they're looking at is all shadow. Because if you ignore what you got, when you point it at other people, you got 3 of them little mofos pointing back at you, yeah. You know? So we're going to step into an age of accountability because people can't help and control who and what they are anymore. They're showing everybody. Boom. Okay, and this is what Mom picked. If that thou art broken unto commandments of the Lord thy God, which I command thee this day to observe and to do them, and thou shalt not go aside from any of the words in which I command thee this day, to the right hand or the left, to go after other gods to serve them. I was like, Mom, you gotta be kidding me, because that's what people I see are awakening up to the fact right now that it's all a game. That these greedy old crotchety bastards, and women can be bastards too. I discovered I was a bastard a little while ago. I know who my father is. We just don't really jive. Anyway, but people are finding out that we live in a world that is a circle of greed. There's no left, there's no right, there's no blue, there's no red, there's no, you know, they've been changing their names all the time just to try to freaking run away from themselves. What time is it? I gotta go check the burritos. I'm gonna go turn off the oven. I'll be right back. How you doing, Mom? I am. Oh, I wish I would have got sour cream. I could have doctored up those burritos. I got avocado I could smear. I could smear avocado on them. So, I thought that was funny. And other people, and with all these talks, man, all these storylines that are going on about what is happening with America. Oh my goodness. Hi, guys. Hi, Benny. You're so handsome and pretty and smart and funny. Big side Benny. Big side Benny, Margie. Bad rat Benny. But all the storylines, like the corporation and all that stuff. See, I failed history because I always just figured it was based on who was in charge and how they felt that day and their interpretation. You know, I wasn't necessarily going to believe anything unless I was there to witness it. And I was there and witnessed a lot of people do a lot of weird stuff, you know, some in the name of God. And you know, and also in the name of love. The harm that people have caused other people in the name of love, or their name of love to God. I mean, it's all, and they don't sacrifice not a lot of people sacrifice, they sacrifice other people for their God. And people are figuring it out. They're all connecting the dots because there's only so much data. There's only so much information. And people are, you know, starting to look at the same stuff because they're going to start all syncing up. Their clocks are going to all start syncing up. And people, it's just going to start clicking because that's just how frequency works and vibration works. And you know, you start tuning into stuff that you're in alignment with, and when people become higher in frequency and get, you know, start coming to their own coming to Jesus, then they start noticing all the stuff that they've done with how wicked they've been living. You know, we're coming into a new age. I don't think, because I like Rick, because he's like, we're not in the age of Aquarius. We're still this many years out, you know. I dig him. He's a great teacher for me. I learned so much from him. I love his stories. Like my clock references because of him. And his middle name's Merlin. He's a cool guy. Anyway, he's an Aries dude. He Why did I bring him up? Why did I bring him up? The clock frickin' story. Black Betty is messing me up. Ooh, this is a good song. Oh, that's what I was talking about. Aquarius Apocalyptic is the song. But this is good. Stoplight observations. There, I said there's the name. I tried to reference their name the other day, and I said things you see while you're stopped at a stoplight. This is a really freaking good song. It's 1 2 2 2. It's Anomaly Week. It's the same forwards and backwards for like 9 days. It's cool. Anyway, Rick Levine talks about how no, we're not in it. But the thing of it is there's like 6 planets that are they're coming into be in Aquarius, and that is so much Aquarian energy that people are going to short the fuck out. They already are doing it. The news stories are just, every day I'm just like, oh my God. Because people don't have that little voice. They don't believe in God, the God. So they don't have that little voice that says, hey, don't cut your roommate up right now and put your roommate in the freezer. Because those are the news stories I'm seeing. And, or don't, you know, if everybody's receiving what they're perceiving. Where you vibe, you're gonna tune into stuff. And there's freaking etheric, there's spirits, and you know, some people perceive them as evil, but sometimes they just get stuck in their frequency loop, and it just gets frustrating. They get mad. So we just help people get to the light, then there'll be less of those wickedry, you know. So let's just show them to the light. Just show them to the light. So, you know, with all that Aquarian energy, there's not going to be a veil. The era of being sheltered. No, because people are starting to see people for who, and the wickedry for who and what they are. And so they're going to start teaching their children that this stuff actually exists, and these are the things that you look for, and you don't go to these areas, and you don't have these conversations, and you don't, you know, the safety teachers, children, you know, have your kids show you engaged. Like, what are you looking at? What, you know, I always want to know what the kids are, what's big with kids these days, because what are they all focused on? What's got their attention? When my niece is 12, she was my other niece's age, she loved Shopkins. And it was easy because she loved Shopkins and she liked it. She was consistent. She's Gemini sun. She was consistent. She liked it for like a couple years. So it's like, yeah, sometimes I'd get her the Shopkins, but then sometimes I'd get her a container that she can organize her Shopkins and keep them in a, you know, and so things around it. So, you know, because you just, so I like to know what the main vibe is for people of all ages. And that's cool because that's what I was telling Mom earlier is because other people get to do this with their kids, living vicariously through them. You know, that's why a lot of people shelter their kids, because they had such a shitty life. They overcompensate. My mom did the other way. But it makes for great stories. But so all this darkness exists. Just because you just keep them from it doesn't mean it's going on. Doesn't mean that they're not susceptible to it. You know? And now the darkness is coming out. There's a great show right on radio. Jesse's a boater. They had a good freaking hour-long talk about the colors. Everybody's deliberate, dude. Everybody is deliberate. I talk about how deliberate I am to make myself transparent as I possibly see, so other people, maybe something might trigger in their freaking brain, and they could see how, okay, start taking accountable for. I mean, I've seen people like kick dogs and be like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm so, you know, oh, I didn't see you there. It's like, you know, people are really deliberate. You know who people are when you pay attention to the vibration in the space. And that is the true space wars that is happening right now. is the verses. People who they are versus who they are trying to represent themselves to be. And it's a lie. And lies and truth. The truth always comes out. That's a thing. My mom's been telling me ever since I was a little girl. I used to tell myself because I couldn't sleep at night. Because I'd be like, I would come up with all these scenarios of how I'd get in trouble. Because God always And all the way until I into my adult, I still get freaking smacked. Literally, I get God smack in the head when I freaking step into freaking shade of wickedry. So, I'm really disappointed. I made a Facebook post. I don't splash around in there very often, but go check out Jesse's talk today. She talks about the colors and how deliberate the inauguration is and all that stuff with the colors that they choose and yada 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 blah blah blah. And then I forgot what I was going to talk about because But I saw some flash about how they said 25 million cases of COVID in the USA. And I thought to myself, and they just throw numbers around. That's why I'm like, I hate reading stuff because people just, I swear, because I worked in universities, I worked in academia, where they do these case studies. I know the people that do it. They don't have good business practices. Therefore, I don't have a whole lot of faith in the data that they put out. Because they're pretty much freaking scumbag human beings. A lot of them. They're just trying to be something different. Anyway, so the veil is coming down because all these planets are in Aquarius. And so, this has happened a long time. I mean, it happens every now and again, That's the thing is when we have these major planetary alignments, or even minor, men and women both act a kind of way when the moon gets full every month. I mean, they know that. Everybody knows that's a statistic that is verifiable by police statistics and blah, blah, blah. And probably the Gallup polls and blah, blah, blah. I think it's because it draws emotion because the moon is the fullest and we're just magnets. It's all this stuff that we carry in our soul sack for the month. That low vibrational stuff gets pulled up for more vibrational or light roots and exposed. And then people freaking get crazy because then they're thinking, oh, I did this. I can't believe I acted that way. Parts of them, aspects of them. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I ramble. What else? So I wrote a Facebook post about, so if 25 million people have had it, does that mean that's 25 million crap, I call it the crap backs, that they don't have to distribute, so they don't have to worry about all these, distributing off because that many people have had it. I don't want it, dude. Freaking military, man. They use us as guinea pigs. They always have. And then just freaking don't care when your body's wrecked, when they're done with you. Just use you and abuse you. I was thinking about that today. I was like, Mom, I need simple green. I've been getting Pine Sol. Not the original. I can't do the original. It triggers my too many bad childhood memories. So, but the newer kind, I don't know, that I can handle, and it smells pretty clean to me because I'm pretty sensitive to smells. Bad, sour, nasty, low vibrational smells, and Mom's like, write it down, put it on the list. And I was like, all right, so simple green. I was thinking about it when I was in the Air Force. And you could always tell when, because there was a couple times a year, the beginning of the fiscal year, because we're maintenance, man. We're at the bottom. We're like the catfish of the, because we had to fix everything. And we always had to be there for everything. All the crap stuff. We're like the stepchildren of freaking the flight line. you know. But we couldn't get freaking oil filters and like these basic parts for the equipment because they always said we didn't have money for it. See, that's the thing is, if you've been in the military and you're in, at some point, you know about supply chain. You know. I know about supply chain. I see it every day. I'm always asking about people. Have you having a hard time getting products? You know? And what are the reasons? Are they weather related? You know, all this. I'm always collecting data. Always. And it's like, I don't know. I get these. It almost offends me that people would even consider it. As much as I bitch about freaking, hey, what's up? Wake in reality. It almost is because it's like, you know, I talk about my hurt and my pain physical, which oftentimes can trigger my emotional. Even though I don't get stuck in that vibration, it just still sucks to be reminded, you know. I want to help other people get past that stuff, see? Because I've been through some stuff. And I know other people have been through some stuff. And I've also been in circles that one of the most cathartic, is that what the word is? Healing, one of the best things to do is to have conversations with people. Listening to Jessie Zaboter talk about her life experience as a young child has been one of the most healing things in the world, not just for me, but thousands of others, and she's starting to get her exposure too. Because so many people have lived through these horrendous acts at the hand of people that said, I love you. And then you grow up skeptical of people that say things like, I love you. I've been skeptical because I'm like, everybody that's ever said that, I'm not falling for it. No, don't say it to me. I'd rather high five you. You know what I mean? I believe more in that, or hug you. I'm a great hugger, dude. I miss hugs. I used to get a lot of hugs, like, you know, like I'm a good hugger. Yeah. It's the heart. It's one heart connecting to another. And it's like you can tell who like, if I think about people I've hugged in my life, I could probably weed out who's wearing a mask now and who isn't. Yeah. You know. But anyway, with my life experience, and I'm a credible source, people I've known for 20, 25 years, you know, they say, Marge, you've never been much of a liar. I've been a lot of things. I've been an asshole because I say things that are true. And people love truth and then until you bust it out on them, you know. I bust out my own truth on me, too. That's how I see it in other people, is because I know character defects because I am riddled with character defects. And so I have to do things to keep my vibe high and to keep those character defects, those low vibes off me. Because I can succumb. You know, I can succumb to the darkness, to the shadows. You know, and people are going to learn how to open up and speak freely. God, you know, man, when I was a kid, this happened. It was so shitty. Because I still have little pockets of relations that I could jump on that island and they can still downplay it. But they don't remember any of it. Because people, the human spirit is so resilient and is so durable and is so freaking full spectrum. But the human soul sac is so very fragile. And so is the psychology. And so it can freaking become something happen. And I look at it as like a personality of like the potential of how this person could have been had this incident didn't happen. Like a disco ball. Like the personality like completely breaks up to every characteristic of this human being during this traumatic event. Because the body can't handle what's happening. When it's been touched by evil. When it knows that spectral that evil exists. And I met it when I was 10 months old. So, and then I've seen it, at different points of my life as I grew up. So I know evil and wicked. I also know God's grace and how He carries us through these periods of darkness. He carries us. Because the soul sack is not meant to experience some of these things that evil does. Because full spectrum exists. And people are coming into their full spectrum. And they're remembering. Triggers, man, are weird. Triggers are weird. People always say, oh, trigger, you trigger this, trigger that. But one of my triggers was, and I always got my triggers of traumatic things when I was in like a memory fade, a blackout. Alcohol had a lot to do with it. I could do a lot of shadow work with alcohol. For me, to drink is to die. People like me, is to drink is to die. So, I don't. I don't ever say I'm never going to do it again. Because I don't want to be a liar in the event that I do. So, I just understand I don't live this life for just me. And I got to look out for after Ma. And so, anyway, a lot of my shadow work has been done with the aid of alcohol. And I remember the night that I was 6, 7 years old. It was taken. It's funny, I just found these pictures recently, so I talked about it. Around the same time that this picture was taken, it happened in this apartment complex where I live. And then Mom went out on a date with the guy. She was a pretty lady. Native. Brown girl. Big hair. Tiny girl. Big guys like her. Then she went out dancing. Then they came back. He had too much to drink. She said no. He said yes. We were sleeping on the couches in the living room. And I kept trying to get up. Because I was going to go I was going to go intervene. I was going to go help Mom. Because that's what that is my spirit. I'm the helper spirit. And my brother grabs my arm and he freaking sternly, he pulls me back and says, just pretend like you're asleep. And that is his spirit. I love him. Different paths. He's all the stuff I'm not. And I am all the things that he's not. So. But it's weird because I am Aries, I am masculine energy, and he's Virgo, he's feminine. It is so funny how it all works and fits together. It's amazing. So more people are, so I got the recall of that memory because years later I ended up, it's funny, I'm going to cover up his face, he's a private guy. This is a parking lot, the same parking lot of the complex that we lived in. From a different, but I knew someone that lived in this one, and then where the event happened was like, I don't know, back in front of. But this was our Nova. We got a picture of the Nova that it was like a 73, I think Nova. I love that car. Oh, that was a rad car. I'm kind of a muscle head, kind of a gearhead. I was a mechanic in the Air Force. So anyway, I was in this parking lot years later having a conversation, and then it came to light because I'm like, oh, because it happened right there. Maybe it had something to do with it. But when I go into a vibrational, it's like it puts me in the mind of the enemy. And I'm extra cognizant about low vibrational beings because I start thinking how they think. Not that I would ever do what they do. I just start understanding the culprit. And, And we're not supposed to judge. Right? Don't judge people. Well, who does that? I freaking judge people. I'm freaking human. I'm a spirit having a human experience. This is funny. I've been a heyoka my whole life. Isn't that hilarious? I've always been a clown. I remember what the way this mask smelled, the plastic inside, and cutting the outside of my lip on the inside because yeah. I remember when all these pictures were taken. It's pretty funny. Because once you feel the full spectrum of vibration, your body doesn't forget. That's why people like to always put themselves, you know, they want to make themselves feel good. So they constantly do things to make themselves feel good. So they eat the foods that, you know, made them kind of that have always made them feel a kind of way, and drink the drinks that make them feel a kind of way, or eat the cookies. I eat cookies that make me feel a kind of way because I got so much pain so much of the time. I don't want to be a miserable human being. So I make my can of cookies and I eat those, and I distribute them to folks in the community as gratuity. And freaking God gives it back to me, you know. You know, we're stepping into it. We're stepping into it. People know, because so many people have been uncomfortable in this period, because now they know their spectrum is expanded, what discomfort feels like. And once you hit rock bottom, whatever, because that's just the fullest spectrum. Once that you get low in life, and you can't even just imagine another second of being any lower feeling, just. And there's so many people that have never felt bad because they keep doing stuff that makes them feel good. And there's so many people that haven't had those, I don't know, advantages. So we've had to feel every little bit of it, you know. And I don't want to suffer. The VA gave me pills. They made me crazy. They made me crazy. I threw some blueberries out for the crow. Like, I give my veggie, Mom likes scrambled eggs with broccoli crowns in it. And I'll give I give all the food except, I'll throw oranges out there because I buy stuff and then I don't pay attention and then they go bad. Or I buy stuff and they sound good at the time and then it doesn't sound good ever again. But so the crows get it. God, the birds around here. They're so big. I've been running my mouth for way too long. That's what I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace. Wait, I should look in the talkie room. Hello, Spirit. Jonathan? Is it Jonathan or See, that's the thing. I'm trying to be better with names. It's just that there are so many people that remind me of so many people because I just look at people as vibes. And when people have common names, it's hard for me. That is why my whole life have given people nicknames. Because I go by how they feel. I worked with this chick. I worked at, in 1996. I love synchronicities. Because I just talked about that bookmark and it was made in 1996. I worked at a Rite Aid. And it was one of the big ones. And it was on the corner of Watt Avenue and Arden in Sacramento. And I worked the overnight shift. I started out and then I went to the swing shift. And that was like 96, 97. And what was the point of me telling that? Oh, I worked with a chick named Anitria, and I called her a tree's knees. And I'd go around like a weird, and she'd get so annoyed because I'd go and because I'd get drunk. One time she poured my beer and replaced it with water, and I didn't even notice. Placebo. And then we are given stuff. It's weird. I've been studying the mind. Anyway, so a tree's knees is a knot. That's what I used to say. A tree's knees is a knot. Anitria. I just like giving nicknames. Anyway, so I don't mean any disrespect. I just, I met a lot of people that remind me of other people. It's I don't know, it's kind of a trip. Same freak tribe, same frequency tribe. That was a wild time. I've made but I'm a storyteller, so I'm all about the story. And I don't want to hurt people, but that was a wild time. I'll tell more of those stories later about my Sacramento era. I talk about them in earlier videos, but people don't go back 3 years to my archives. Hello. Aaron brought you here? Welcome. Thanks, Aaron. Oh, and that's what people are figuring out is that freaking some people are figuring it out is that they like it dirty. And that they've been denying it. I've been talking about this a couple years. The bears in dresses, and the people coming into their energetic balance. I want to say this. I was on Ricky Gervais's live stream in Twitter. I've never seen it before. I've always seen it on Facebook where he shared it there, but I've never seen it on Twitter. And today I jumped on and I saw, I'm like, this one. As far as I'm concerned, this year, this by @Coolio, spelled KOOLEOO, wins the whole entire both webs. The highly freaking controlled and the dark. They said, explain why transgender people demand acceptance, yet they don't accept themselves as they were. I was just like, thank you. Thank you. That's the thing is I think people should freaking try it on. Wear it as an outfit. Don't freaking sew that shit down. And don't let kids sew that shit down. I believe in the balance of energy. And people are taking that. They're always the extremists. I'm all about balance. And there's always the extremists. I was looking at freaking, maybe I should talk about the gematria. I'll make notes for talking about that because I want to go eat my chimichangas now. I'm kind of hungry. I was actually like really hungry. I'm less hungry now. I was really hungry when I was smelling them in the oven. And then oh God, I've been talking an hour. Ain't that